Well, it's very interesting concept, reversible process, and what is an irreversible process has to be understood in the context of second law of thermodynamics. We have seen the two statements of second law of thermodynamics, namely the Kelvin-Planck statement and the Clausius statement, and both these statements tell us that certain processes are not possible. So when we talked about certain processes not being possible, one is, for example, a spontaneous transfer of heat from a lower temperature to a higher temperature. It is not possible. And a conversion of heat to work completely is not possible. So this something not being possible has to be understood in the context of this new concept, namely the reversible process and irreversible process. So the objective, learning objective is to get the concepts of reversible process and irreversible process clear. In the reversible process, we would be discussing what is an internally reversible process and what is a totally reversible process. By a reversible process, when you talk about the term reversible process, the term reversible gets you an idea about that, yes, something has to be reversed in this process. But that is not enough. It is not that a reversible process can be reversed. It is an important thing to understand that a reversible process can be reversed without leaving any trace on the surroundings. So without leaving any trace on the surroundings is the key idea, key term, which has to be understood in the context of a reversible process. So when you say that a particular process is reversible, then say a process is from I to F, the initial state is I and the final state is F. So when the process is reversible, it does not simply mean that the process gets from I to F and then again from F we can get back to I. So that is a reversible process incompletely defined, in the sense that if, for example, if you have this system going from initial state I to F, and if you do some external work and then the process gets back to I again, then that is not a reversible process. Because for a reversible process to happen, there has to be the zero trace. Without any trace is important. So no trace has to be left, no permanent effect on the surrounding has to be left when the process is reversed. Okay. In other words, both the system and the surroundings are to be returned to their initial state. It means that if you are having a process from I to F, there would be certain change of state, corresponding change of state of the surrounding also, right? And when you come back to the initial state, that surroundings would also has to come back to their initial state, right? And this is possible only when there is no permanent mark left on the surrounding. Okay, so it is important for us to understand that reversible process is not only the process which can be reversed, it is a process which can be reversed without leaving any trace on the surroundings, right? Now, what makes a process irreversible? So, one of the factor which makes the process irreversible is the heat transfer through a finite temperature difference. For example, let us say that you are having two bodies. One body is at 50 degrees centigrade and other body is at 20 degrees centigrade. So obviously there would be a heat transfer from the hot body, which is at 50 degrees centigrade, to a colder body which is at 20 degrees centigrade, right? Now this process would be irreversible. Why is that so? That is because now that colder body cannot get back spontaneously to 50 degrees centigrade, right? You cannot imagine that spontaneously this cold body would start heating itself and achieve the temperature of 50 degrees centigrade. So heat transfer, and why has that happened? That has happened because there is a finite temperature difference. In this case, in my example, that temperature difference was 50 minus 20, which is 30 degrees centigrade, which is a finite temperature difference, and that is responsible for making the process as irreversible. So a heat transfer through a finite temperature difference makes the process irreversible. So the answer to the question is, what makes the process irreversible? One of the answer is that whenever there is a heat transfer through a finite temperature difference, that makes the process irreversible. Other factor other factor which makes the process irreversible is the common phenomena of friction. Okay, so this is explained with the help of a pendulum experiment. For example, if you imagine that the pendulum was experiencing zero friction, then the pendulum would regain the same height during its swing. Okay, but because you know that there is a friction, so the pendulum would start losing its energy. In fact, the energy would be dissipated, and that makes the process irreversible. So any real life process will be associated with friction, and that friction would make the process irreversible. So this is an important thing to understand, that along with the finite temperature difference, the phenomena of friction would also make the process irreversible. The third phenomena which we studied in quite a detail was free expansion. The concept of free expansion, you know that free expansion is a concept of expansion of a gas against a vacuum. Okay, it means that without any resistance. When you are putting a vacuum, you see that in this piston cylinder arrangement, there is a diaphragm, and on the other side of the gas, there is a vacuum. So when this gas is, when this partition is removed, this gas would be expanding, but there is no resistance. And this is a free expansion. Now, this phenomena of free expansion would result in the gas occupying this entire volume, right? And if you want to imagine that again, this uh, same system, that is, you have a system again with certain vacuum and the gas again occupying the smaller space to happen, that cannot happen spontaneously. You need to do certain work on it, and then the process would be reversed back. Okay, so the process can be reversed back, right? However, this process would be reversed back by doing certain work, and that makes the process irreversible. So it is not enough for the process to get back to the initial position. For the process to happen, to be a reversible process, the work also needs to be zero. Okay, so no permanent mark, no permanent stress has to be kept on the surrounding. So this we need to clearly understand what is a reversible process and what makes the process irreversible. We will continue with this discussion on reversibility and irreversibility in the next class. Thank you very much. Bye for now.